3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Show Me Trucks. In this video, I had an awesome adventure day yesterday. So going and picking parts is one of my favorite things, besides swap meets, and I might even like it more than swap meets. So let me show you what I got. To tell you the truth, I really came to get this horrible cab because it has good glass, front and back, and I need it for the 67. Didn't have any glass for that, so this cab is obviously shot. And I also need this firewall, and I know the firewall looks a little crusty, but my firewall is even worse. It's sitting back there. You can see it up in the corner. So I was just gonna pull some parts off it and sell everything else. And then it also came with some doors and a steering column, which I'll show you later, but those are even worse. But the guy also had a short bed bedside, which is kind of crazy. I've actually never bought a used one. I did buy my short bed, but I've never bought a bedside. No one ever sells these. Does have some rust. It looks like it's rusted out up here, which you'll see in a lot of these Pennsylvania trucks. And then this is a 68 four-wheel drive. It still has the glove box. It's got some gauges. I was really hoping it would be the tack gauges, but it wasn't. And then you can tell this cab is just crusty. And it's funny because it still has a sticker. The sticker looks amazing in the top, but the glass is fine. The seat belts are garbage. I was kind of hoping they were 67 seat belts. And then he threw in the hood. 67, 68 hoods are the same. The slope nose, it has the letters on it. And then the trim is banged up, and it's got a little rust up in the corner. He gave me fenders, some emblems, some hinges, 67 core support, and then also gave me a 69, 72 core support. And then bought this 67 fender. Separately, I bought the doors are rough. And then another door they had patched on a little bit and they gave up on, so. And then the steering column is also rough. It's rusted out in the bottom, and I'll show you that once I get it inside. But as you can tell, my driveway looks like a junkyard. So I'm trying to get everything inside before my neighbors complain. So that's the project today. Windshield's out. Pretty excited. So I'm gonna save this dash. So if you're one of the guys trying to scrap these, this dash is bolted on the side up here, but it's welded into this seam right here. So you had to cut it and cut all that. Like if you're gonna save it or try to sell it, make sure and cut it here. Because if you cut it down here, someone's gonna have to weld that whole seam, do body work. It's gonna be horrible. No one wants to do that. I'm gonna try to sell the dash. If not, I'm gonna put everything in it and hang it up on my wall. I think it's cool that it has the four-wheel drive sticker still on it, and it still has the four-wheel drive sticker up on the top. And I'm also gonna save that panel up there because I already have one, and I like the ribs in it to make custom metalwork stuff. So, yay! GoPro likes to die, so I folded up the 68 cab and I cut it all apart and saved everything. So all you guys that want to go green, this is what you got to do. I just saved these little drip rails just in case I do need them on my cab, or at least just use them as patches. And then this is the firewall. I pull it out, I cut it below the seam, and then once I get to that later, fix the whole thing off the truck. That way I can grind on the backside, get in there, make it easy to work on, and then spot weld that whole thing in, and then decide what I'm gonna shave, what I'm not. So that'll make it a lot easier, get the 67 done quicker. Pull the dash out, like I said. You know, I don't even mind if I end up keeping it and just hang it. I have a radio, I can put it in it, lighter, gauges, hang it on the wall. And then I took these pieces off too. So this is the top of your cab. This is the very top of your cab. This is inside the cab. But, all right, so a couple things I didn't really show you, but this guy had patched the bottom of the door. The door doesn't look that bad. I mean, the top looks okay. Patches, eh. This door, the bottom's gone. Most likely, no one is gonna want it. The only reason I think someone would even want that is for the glass and the door panels and stuff like that. And I'm trying to not take them apart yet, but I'm gonna only probably give it a week or two, and then I'll rip the glass out, try to save what I can, scrap those doors. They're really trash. Another thing I don't think I showed was this 67 grill, 67, 68. Pretty good shape, a little ding in there. Must have put different trim on it because obviously the dent is behind it, but I just put some headlight bezels in there and hung it on the wall for now. That one will be hard for me to sell unless someone really wants it, because I do want to build like a 68 Suburban, 67 Suburban. If I have a grill like that, it lets me buy any year Suburban and fix it up. And then I want to show you this hood that I think I'm going to end up keeping. I posted it for sale, but I don't think I'm going to sell it because this back is all rusted out. I really want to see if I can find a banged up hood and just take this support out and re-weld this support in there, because the rest of the hood is very straight, which is better than mine. Mine has some holes in here and some rust up in the front. Let me show you. So I might keep this hood. It'll save me some time when I do the 67. If you have notice a theme here, time is eating me alive, so not having to weld stuff up, and then it's got some holes through the hood, but we'll see. I haven't totally decided. Another thing I want to show you is the steering column. So 67, 68, obviously I told you this is 68. Wheel is cracked all over the place. Down here, this is basically just a cover, but that was totally rusted out. So I pulled the cover off of my other manual column just to double check. But yeah, this was totally rusted out. So I thought the whole bottom was rusted out, but it was just that cover. I'm assuming there's a bearing or some kind of bushing in this side because it is wobbling all over the place. I've never rebuilt one of these, so if I can get that bearing, then cool. I'll keep this one for myself and try to sell my orange manual column to somebody else. So sometimes I'll buy these parts hoping it entices people to come check out my other parts so I can sell them. So, you know, most likely most of this no one ever wants. So it's just the hustle you got to do to try to afford these trucks. Want to wrap up this video. Awesome trip. Excited about the parts I got. Excited I got the glass out without breaking it, which is super stressful because last time I cracked it. I love this grill up here, and then I like the dash I put up here. If someone wants them, someone can have it. I just don't really like hoarding everything, so I will always be down to sell stuff because these trucks are super expensive to fix up. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you got to see what it's like to go search for parts. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know, I pay gas and labor and all that stuff to get there, so it costs money to play here, but sometimes you win. So hopefully I can use some of these parts